Dan, we have some wrestling news that you wanted to get into.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, first thing I want to do is I want to talk about one major story. So we're talking about heels, and it's sad. It sucks that it got canceled. Hopefully, we get to do it. So let's we can go ahead and try to lighten the mood a little bit. I'm just buying for time, just doing a lot of talking, trying to get what I want to get. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it. This is just an article. I'm just pulling it directly from GameSpot, where they're talking about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and let me know when this is ready. Okay, so on
21.
Perfect picture.
God damn, bro.
so basically, you remember how when Vince McMahon was in charge of everything, he was just firing people left and right, and everyone's like, "Hey, we got
Was
past
this new
that." We don't have
company will
Vince.
like hold my beer?
So yeah, shortly after the new acquisition, TKO took over. Or TKO is now in effect, where they have the merger between UFC and WWE. Shortly after, it was announced that 21 WWE superstars were getting released. This right here being the biggest one, Dolph fucking Ziggler. I'll get into that one real quick, but let's just start off here. So Mustafa Ali, I'm angry, so angry. Mustafa Ali's getting released now. I'm happy because yes, he could go wrestle in other places. That's awesome, but like they started and stopped with this man in WWE so many times, with two major times, and due to either injury or something else going on, we couldn't do it. Also, before I forget, hey, what's up, Rudy? I see you're here. Um, but what's it called? Mustafa Ali.
It's the name, bro. That's why.
No, it's not the name, because if that's the case, he would have gotten let go a long time ago.
Mhm.
Um,
No. It's not about him being let go. I'm talking about them starting and stopping and stuff.
well,
It's,
no, the first time was because of injury, and granted that paved the way for Kofi Mania, and I thought Kofi Mania was the coolest thing ever, so I'm glad about that. The second time, they gave him the storyline, and Vince was like, "This is a really cool idea," and then the other people who were involved in it kind of didn't really do what they need to do. Like Ali is out there, he's kicking ass, doing everything right. Everybody else is like kind of like downplay, so it turned into almost like a comedic act at that point. It was supposed to be like this whole badass thing where he was going to take over fucking WWE, and they're just like, "No, the people that you're working with kind of like aren't really pulling
suck.
their weight."
Yeah.
So hopefully he goes somewhere, and just honestly, anybody that picks him up, he's an asset. He's a fucking phenomenal wrestler. Then we got Rick Boogs.
It's King Spade.
Rick Boogs.
He looks like a jacked Freddie Mercury.
Thank you. He is a Jack Freddie Mercury. So his thing is he goes out there and he plays guitar and he sings really loudly, and not even sings. He just screams. He either screams his name or he screams Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he puts a lot of emphasis on Nakamura. He's just a man who goes out there. He just screams. He
He
was
got a
getting a
Kramer
little
though.
bit. What's that?
He got a Kramer guitar.
Yeah, he was getting a little bit of a push under Vince, and then kind of when Vince's stuff happened, they kind of stopped pushing him. Rick Boogs, he's entertaining, but let's be real, he wasn't like the greatest wrestler. He could have been something in WWE, but I don't know. I think anybody who picks him up and he kind of reworks his gimmick a little bit, he could be something impressive. Aaliyah. Aaliyah got released. She was somebody who, honestly, with all respect in the world to Aaliyah, nothing against her. She was out there. She had some great moments. Every time I saw her pop up on TV, I legitimately said to myself, "Oh, she ain't fired yet." So now that is not going to happen because she actually did. Now, I'm not saying that she's bad at her job. I'm just saying they never really gave her an opportunity. They never really did much with her. Even when she was in NXT, she would just show up from time to time. So, like, I think in the end, she was just injured a lot, and they just stopped using her on TV. I think she might even recover. Like, I'm sorry, we have nothing for you.
Yeah.
They just didn't bring her back on TV. So she wasn't the greatest wrestler, but she's definitely not the worst. It's just sad to see, somebody young like this who could have, maybe been something. They never really gave her a shot. Then we got Elias.
Yeah, everybody got guitar.
People, yeah.
Yeah, so Elias was the singer, like the true one. He was the drifter. What does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. So it's a whole thing. Elias had the potential to be a huge, huge star, and then they kind of just dropped the ball with him. Wrestling wise, he was okay. His big thing was, hey, I'm gonna go. I have a guitar. I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna talk shit about the city I'm in. And sometimes it was good. He used to get really, really good reactions. It kind of never really went anywhere. Then he got injured. They got rid of him. They brought in this guy called Ezekiel, who was Elias, and he pretended to be his own brother called Ezekiel. And they're like, "You're just Elias in a different outfit." It was like, "No, I'm not. I could go get Elias right now." And then they tried doing this whole thing where it's like, "I'm not my brother" or whatever. I think after he got released, he posted a picture of him talking to himself as Ezekiel, and he's like, "Look, there are two of us." I'm like, No, I'm sorry. Ric Moss. Rick Moss is one of those guys. I mean,
That
look
was
at
Shia LaBeouf for a second. It's like, damn.
yeah. So look at Riddick Moss. He's Vince McMahon's wet dream. He's a former football player turned wrestler. Has the physique of a Greek god. Wrestling was okay. Talking wasn't that good. He could have been something if he had a little bit more practice. I think they brought him out of NXT before he was ready. I feel like he just needed to cook in the oven a little bit more. He could be something big one day. A lot of these guys could be something. Top dollar.
Damn, that's Eslam, son. I can't. All these people look like somebody to me.
Oh man,
I mean, you're not wrong.
Top dollar. I think he did get released once before. This was when Vince was firing everybody, and then Triple H's like, "Get back here, you got a job." He did get released once before. He was part of this group called Hit Row. It's a bunch of like rappers turned wrestlers, I guess. And his thing was just like he rapped. He wasn't the greatest wrestler. Honestly, talking wise, he wasn't that good. He could be something still. He's still young. He's still got a long way to go. As you can see, he started with the WWE in 2020, so he's still pretty fresh. He's one of those people I want to see where he goes. He's bigger than most people nowadays, so you never know. He might be able to do something. This one hurt.
Oh no, not Shelton.
Shelton Benjamin.
Damn, bro.
So Shelton, as you can see, he was with them from 2002 to 2010, was gone, came back in 2017, and just got re-released.
Damn.
Shelton is one of the best fucking wrestlers ever. Period.
My man ran up a ladder. What more do you want?
Yeah, like he dominated. When he left the first time, he went to wrestle in New Japan and became Shelton X Benjamin. And it was just a badass. Like he just dominated all over he went. He was a badass in Japan, badass on the indies. Eventually they rehired him in 2017. And Vince does what he does. It's like, hey, I got you back. You're this great wrestler. I'm just gonna have you lose everybody. And that's Shelton's been doing that since 2017 up to 2023. Just going out there is like, you're going to be somebody's bodyguard. You're going to be a backup person in a group, or you're just going to lose the people straight up. Like, he never really got much of a push. He might have won a tag title at some point between 2017 to 2023. That is what it is. We got Emma. Emma got fired before. Same thing, 2017. She was brought back. Didn't really do much. Honestly, I'm happy for her. She can be a star anywhere except WWE, because WWE doesn't see the value in her. Everybody else does. Yeah. So she's going to go back to being Tennille Dashwood, and she's going to be dominating. I just read Rudy's comment.
Oh, I didn't have it open.
No, you're good. Here we go. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, once again, one of the best wrestlers ever. Former world champion. He's been with the company for almost 20 years. Mm-hmm. The Rock even posted it. A lot of wrestlers posted stuff online where it's just like, Dolph Ziggler, I think, had however many literally thousands of matches. And Dolph Ziggler is one of those guys where it's like, hey, somebody's injured. We need somebody to put on a match. Dolph, can you do it? Okay. Oh, shit, Dolph, we need somebody in the main event. We don't know what to get. Dolph, can you do it? Sure. You know what? We were supposed to give this person the world title to run with it. We don't have to do. Dolph, can you do it? Dolph is the perfect utility. He can do everything. He can wrestle. He can talk. He can go. He could put on a match with anybody. He could wrestle a broomstick and fucking make it look like a 5-star match. Dolph Ziggler is truly one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live. I hope he's not retired from wrestling. His brother is a wrestler in AEW. See Dolph go there would be amazing. I want to see Dolph really be given a main event run. He's somebody who never really got a real main event run. I want to see that because he truly deserves it. This is the one that hurts more than anybody, Dolph Ziggler. We got Dabba-Kato. He's a big man. Then we got Dana Brooke. No, Dabba-Kato, I mean, it sucks. He never really got the chance to do much. I don't know if it was injury or whatever, but he's one of those guys who's like really tall and big. He can't really do much. So I really don't know what there is to do with him. Dana Brooke, very powerful, decent wrestler. I mean, she didn't really do much. She was there for a long time though, 10 years. Kind of just like start and stop over and over again. And we got Mansour and Mace. These are some silly bitches. So Mansour and Mace, they're fun to watch. They had these weird gimmicks. I don't even know where to start with them. They're just entertaining. I would love to see them go anywhere. Their last gimmick that they were doing, they were just male models. just male models, and it's just
Straight
like
out Zoolander up in here.
for real. And like Mansour, he's really athletic. He was the guy who, like, anytime they went to Saudi Arabia, he's from there. Anytime they went to Saudi Arabia, he's like, look, he's the best wrestler we have. He wins everything. And then when they're not in Saudi Arabia, he just loses to everybody.
Yeah.
And Mace, he's just like a big guy, really tall, really athletic, funny. Both of them are very funny, very entertaining. Mace was just never really given a push either. Neither one of these guys were really given any chance. So it's sad to see we got them. Quincy Elliott. Quincy Elliott was NXT
Is that
for
a
little bit.
handicap person really in
No.
wrestling right now?
No, who said?
Oh,
Well, first off,
that
Zach
looked like
Gowen
a-
used to wrestle back in the day, and he had one leg. All right, then
Okay.
Brock Lesnar threw him down a stairs.
I thought that was one of those scooters, bro.
No, it's a
Like
scooter. It's not one of those.
Like you have in ShopRite.
No,
like Keenan from Keenan Kel.
Yeah, so Quincy Elliott, I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen too much of Quincy Elliott. They're still fairly new into their WWE career. Hopefully they can go on to do stuff. The rest of people are gonna be like that. Shanky, really tall.
Man.
Yeah, really tall. He was in a couple like groups and stuff like that. I think they're trying to make him be like the next like Great Khali. But I mean, Khali has personality, but Shanky,
Damn. That's fucked up, bro. I've never seen this guy, but damn.
It sucks with Shanky. Shanky, his thing, I think the biggest thing he ever got was like he liked to dance at one point for some reason. I'm like, okay, Shanky, just do you. So yeah, there's that. I want to see where he goes. Ulissa Leon, guys, I don't know who the fuck this is.
All right.
Kevin Ventura Cortez, I don't know who that is. Ikeman, oh man, they fired Ikeman. Ikeman Jiro, he's fun. He was his thing is like, look, I got a jacket. Legit, that was his gimmick. He had a jacket. He could go though. He was not a bad wrestler. He was just a guy with a jacket. He really didn't do much. But it is what it is. Brooklyn Barrow. I couldn't tell you who the fuck which one of these two that is. It might be the referee. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. A lot of these people are newer people that never really was on TV much.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you are. I'm sorry.
That's the perfect picture, though.
Bryson Montana. I'm assuming it's the man doing the backbreaker. It could be the man taking it. I don't know. It could be that guy in the crowd. Hang on, right here. He's just sitting on his phone. Maybe it was him.
He's texting.
No wonder whoever it is got fired, bro. This guy's on his phone.
Yeah, so I mean, once again, it's a young person. They've been in the company probably less than a year at this point. I mean, who knows? This one was crazy too. Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's actually a fucking superstar. He goes out there. He likes smoking weed. He likes saying bro a lot. He's a former UFC champion. Now interesting that he gets fired after the merger that involves UFC. After he got fired by UFC because Dana White just straight up didn't like him. And then this merger happens, and then shortly after he gets fired. Great wrestler. I hope he goes anywhere because he's a superstar, and he wrestles with no shoes, which is fun to see. Also, I just want to point this out real quick. Let's get this over here. This guy right here, Gunther, fucking badass. You don't mess with him.
Okay.
With that. But yeah, so that's just a bunch of wrestlers getting released. So I can stop sharing that, and I do have a little bit more to talk about real quick. I'm just gonna blow through real fast here. So I'm gonna stop sharing this, and I'm gonna share my other screen. But yeah, so as you can see, wrestlers are still getting fired, so things stay the same. So nothing changes there. And let me get this here, get this going, and I want to do a little bit of AEW and then AEW / WWE news. So this one's just gonna be a quick image. There we go. Okay, so this was not this past. Was it last week? I think it was last week. There was a big show. AEW was in New York, Arthur Ashe Stadium, and they had this big match for the AEW International Championship, which Jon Moxley recently beat Orange Cassidy for. So Moxley ends up losing the title here. Now, the thing that happened is you see Moxley, he's the guy who's laying flat on his back. You see how his shoulders are on the mat? The referee did not count to 3 when he had his shoulders completely flat on the mat. He stayed perfectly still like this. The referee went 1, 2. Oh, no, his shoulder's up. And it wasn't. And we could all clearly see it wasn't. What had happened was everybody assumed that during this match, Rey Fenix, who ends up winning the title against Moxley, does this move where he drops Moxley, and it looks like he drops him right directly on the top of his head, crown of his head. And they're like, oh shit, that was a bad landing. Then this happens. Everyone's like, oh fuck, I hope Moxley's okay. Then Phoenix gets up, does it again, and drops him on his head again.
Jesus.
And everyone's like, fuck, that's weird. Then they count to 3, and nobody was expecting Moxley. You know, okay, this guy's going to win the match, and then he loses. Everyone's like, oh, fuck, I hope he's okay. They eventually cut to commercial. They come back and like, hey, Moxley walked out in his own 2 feet. Everything's okay. Turns out he had a really bad concussion. And it wasn't even done by that move. He actually had a concussion before the match had started. There was like a brawl, and he got concussed there, continued with the match, and then he gets dropped on his head twice. So they say he's okay. We don't know if he's cleared to wrestle, in the near future. I'm sure he'll get cleared at some point. But as of right now, I think he's just taking some time off trying to rest. But the real news story here is Ric Moss, the referee, is in a lot of trouble. One, because he didn't count to 3 when he should have. But more importantly, a lot of people were looking at it like he didn't protect somebody. Like this man started a match and he was concussed. And the referee kind of was just like, hey, I'm going to let this go.
Up really? This is WWE. Is it really up to
AEW.
him? Oh,
yes.
Whatever. Is it really
so
up
one
to
of the
him?
referee's responsibilities is like, hey, if you can't go, I have a headset. I have people speaking to me in the back. I speak back to them. We'll come up with an audible and you're not going to wrestle the match. That's their job. So it's like,
okay. I mean, these are not real. To me, they're not real referees.
It makes
they're part
sense,
of the story.
Okay,
they're still getting hurt. They're slamming themselves.
The referee's job is to keep the wrestler safe, even if it's protecting them from themselves. That's like one of the jobs. It's not about like, oh yeah, it's like I want to make sure this guy doesn't hurt you, and that's not what their job is. Their job is like, dude, you're bleeding a lot. You need to fucking stop. I don't care if you want to keep going. You cut too deep. You need to stop. Like think of it that way. So the referee this is the first time he did it. There was a while back where there was another guy, Alex Reynolds, who.
But how would he know if he was concussed before the match?
He wouldn't know. But so while the match is happening, the referee's talking to them. The referee is gonna see, hey, you're moving weird. You're doing shit weird. You're not doing stuff. You're going to call spots, and you're supposed to communicate. If you ever see, there's one trick that they do. If somebody lands really bad on the match, on the ground or something, the referee grabs their hand. If the person is like, hey, are you okay? If the person's okay, they don't say it, but they squeeze their hand to let them know, I'm good. Don't worry about it. That's one of the tricks. There's a lot of different things like that. The referee's supposed to be checking on the wrestlers throughout the match to make sure everything's going as planned and going okay. The fact that Mox was not feeling right, and he himself was just like, hey, he could have lifted up his shoulder because he got back up to take the move again. He could have. He told him, like, he yelled at the referee in the middle of the match when he didn't count 3. He told the ref, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm gonna take the dive. I'm losing, even though I'm not supposed to. I'm going to lose. There, I don't feel well." And then the referee's like, "Okay, do the move again, though." And then they did the move again, and then they ended it instead of just counting to 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the thing is, a while back there was this other wrestler, Alex Reynolds, who got concussed during a match, and it was like a 6-man tag, so it was like 5 other guys wrestling. This guy's like in the middle of the ring, just spaced out. Everybody's kind of wrestling around him. The referee sees it, doesn't do anything, and nothing happens until one of the other wrestlers kind of just pulls this guy out of the ring and brings him over to the doctors in the middle of a match.
Yeah.
And this referee was the referee during that match.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, I mean, it's putting a lot of pressure on
them. Happened. Okay.
As far as we could think of, yeah. So it's like, hey, man, like your job is to check on time, make sure you're stopping during commercials when you have to, stuff like that. But also, main priority, make sure everybody's safe. That's your main focus. So a lot of people feel like he didn't do that. So supposedly he was getting chewed out for it. But we got that, and then I have one more quick one. Jade Cargill, former AEW TBS champion. Undefeated for, I think it was like 60 days or something, or 60 matches. So like probably like 2 years. She'd never lost a match.
Abs are ridiculous.
Yeah, she's a beast. A former
her arms
like
are bigger
college.
than mine.
Yeah, former like college basketball like athlete and everything. Like she's tall, muscular, crazy strong, amazing talker. Homegrown AEW talent. She eventually lost a match a couple months ago, came back to try to regain her title. She lost again, so she's only ever had 2 losses in her AEW career, or wrestling career period. She's only ever wrestled in AEW. Still new to the game. Just recently got signed by WWE.
Nice.
So it's cool to see where this goes. You don't get to see that many homegrown AEW talents go to WWE, so very, very interesting to see where this goes. The wrestling fan base being as fucked up as it is, a lot of people are just like, you suck, you're a traitor, blah, blah, blah. And then other people are like, no, she left the indies to go to a real promotion. Both sides are stupid. Both sides are wrong. It's somebody who's going to another job, and hopefully they can make more money and become more successful.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. And even I think Kenny Omega said something is like, believe it or not, when one wrestler leaves our company to go to somewhere else, we wish them best of luck. We hope that they do well and they become successful because we're still friends. And like wrestling fans just don't seem to grasp that. So, congrats to her. It sucks that a bunch of other wrestlers got fired. Now she's getting hired, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. So hopefully she goes out there. I would love to see her fight Bianca Belair or even Charlotte Flair. That's going to be a dream match. I kind of want to see what she could take from AEW and then incorporate it with the WWE style that she's obviously going to start learning there, and see what a hybrid wrestler like that could really look like. So very, very curious to see what that's going to come out to be.